very issue, I mean, along with what you're saying. For workforce housing, we just call it that, because in my opinion, there is no such thing anymore as affordable housing. It's just terribly expensive at $225 to $250 a square foot. It just makes it so far out of touch for a lot of folks. So we have to look at how we as the county can address workforce housing, and really the only way you can do it, and hopefully the developers and the builders will come along as well, is to be careful that we don't have regulations that puts a burden on it, but at the same time to have smaller lot sizes.
Yeah.
And the only way to have the smaller lot sizes is we have to have water and sewer. So I think that part of this is going to be really, really important, that we look at those areas of where the county, especially out in the unincorporated areas, where we have water and sewer. And then also where is our plans to expand it. And then that way, that will kind of drive the development world as well to kind of look at those areas for the possibility of higher density. Then we, as the county, and certainly the planning commission, because you folks are extremely involved in it, we've got to be able to get to a point to where we can embrace higher density where we do have water and sewer, so that developers will feel comfortable that if they look at a tract of land where we have the infrastructure at, they feel like then that they can go in there and develop a little bit higher density subdivision, because that's as close as we're going to get at this present time for workforce development housing, is to be able to work locally to get that cost down. Inflation is going to continue to eat away at the cost of living. Those are things we can't control those. What we can control those, though, is the regulations that we can soften. You know, we got to be careful about that, because again, we can soften them, but those regulations are there to protect every citizen in the community. They're not there just to protect the developers or just to protect the house, neighborhoods. It's there for everybody. So we have to be conscientious of that. So there's a lot of moving parts to it, but I agree 100% with you. You folks as a body, locally, when it gets to us as well, we got to be willing to embrace some higher density housing in subdivisions, so that we will be able to get as close as we can from our standpoint to housing affordability. And that's really, between that and apartments, that's as close as we're going to be able to get to true workforce housing at this point in time.
We're going to have to consider going up versus out.
I'm sorry?
We're going to have to consider going up versus out now, maybe.
Some of all of it. That's what we're gonna have to do.
Yeah,
What
and
Matt's
thought
gotta
to
say,
throw out
fellas.
to the group, in comprehensive plans in the past, and by that I mean 2006 and earlier, the main focus of community facilities and land use was a county-wide division of urban area versus rural area, in a conscious effort to put the higher density development, the water and sewer systems, et cetera, within a designated urban area. And so we've got existing language in those plans that address that. So rather than reinvent the wheel with some new language, maybe there's some old language